all up in my face, you're not from the clique. Give me space, we might ride it. Most say that, baby, they don't love the clique. I thought they love you when you make it. This some mud. Yeah, this some mud. Friends and business don't mix, so I'm...
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Texans going up against the Mounties. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, we jump right into this new season with an AFC South matchup between the Houston Texans and the Toronto Mounties. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Back to throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he rifles one incomplete. And a look at the defense now. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on third and 10. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. And here's a look at the starting offense. Offense looking to avoid a third and long. It's second and 10. And the wideout in motion. Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a third and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. They'll go with a keeper. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And boy, the payoff was good.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Now this time he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They'll drop the throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, it's time for them to give him a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 19. And that'll be good for a Houston first. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Offensive mistake pushes him back. Now it's second and a little bit longer. Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. He'll look to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Their dangerous wide receiver. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Offense just a yard away from the line they need to gain. Third down. He'll drop to throw. Finding time, and he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Seated to my right, Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Toronto football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Back it up, Billy. Here we go. All right, here we go. Back it up, Billy. Here we go. Back it up, Billy. Here we go.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he comes back with 1 complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan, and Thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
All right, now, lucky 56. Back there, Philly. Here we go. Here we go. Watch it. Gun.
The slot man in motion right. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come up in an offset eye.
Now let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Two minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. 290. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now let's go.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They're going to look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down. They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Taking it about the 16. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And here now the offense heading back out there. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, Are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And quickly they get to the line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going up top, and the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw, and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 14 there. And it's good enough for a Houston first down.
When you've got a big guy like that in your backfield who runs as a big man and breaks tackles, it is paramount for a defense to have extra defenders in his vicinity at all times. Because you got to figure he's going to break through the first guy. You're going to need tacklers 2, 3, 4 in order to get him down. Because if you don't, he can continue to run and run it really, really well.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. So the hard count gets them there. Neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, the defense thought they had the timing down, but the quarterback hit them with a hard count, got them to jump.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. He'll look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran now a nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in running back drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it.
All right, here we go. Green, Leopard.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
One receiver left, three to the right.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Trying to lay one up deep. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. You want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
They'll drop the throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
2nd and goal to go now. Now a handoff here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. They come out here, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. It's their quarterback. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Extra point attempt to come here. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. Boom, watch it now.
Back to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Detroit! All right, now, look at 56.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Pass incomplete. Welcome back to Toronto, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. End zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll come out in the pistol. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for the touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, 78 yards. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. 3, 9, over! Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get in. And they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. They get the conversion. And, Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they're definitely showing blitz here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now back out comes the offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes the sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry-up. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go now. Here we go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. Or it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. And now out comes Houston. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On play action, they'll throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good pick up there at 20 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And partner, nice little connection there on the corner route.
The receiver set it up perfectly, worked his way inside, and then broke it back to the outside for the completion.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now it's 2nd and 7. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now they'll they'll throw here out of the gun. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Texans, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.